Good morning, South Africans. Good morning, fellow patriots. Good morning, Your Majesty. My name is Bonang Sepolwane. I'm a national organizer of Progressive Forces of South Africa. I am here to brief the media in regards with the questions on why, as Progressive Forces, we have decided to stand up and dig deep into the Edgar Lungu's passing and the rumor of him being buried in South Africa. As Progressive Forces of South Africa, we have decided that we will take the responsibility and dig in the issue of why Edgar Lungu is the family want to bury him in the country. We had a space, I believe, on the 18th of June after the family announced that they are not going to take his remains to Zambia. On that space, we had visitors from Zambia and other SADC residents who came on X, and they claimed that the reason for that was because Edgar Lungu believed that his body remains will be used by the opponents in Zambia and then for multi and African magic purposes. But as a movement, we saw that as not a reasonable reason of why a former president wouldn't want to be buried at home. On the 25th of June, Edgar Lungu was supposed to leave the country, South Africa. Our government, South Africa, deployed SANDF and the media houses to go and make a send-off to Zambia with the regards with Edgar Lungu. With that being said, around 3 p.m., we saw on Newsroom Africa the announcement being made that the family have decided to bury Edgar Lungu within the Republic of South Africa as per his request. It was amazing to us as movement and asking ourselves questions on why will a former president who have people that he served willing to want his own people to mourn him. With that being said, we went into the social media, we went into articles of Zambian media and tried to find out what might be the reason in that regard. Number one, what we have found out, we found out that there are cases that the current regime have opened against the immediate family of Mr. Edgar Lungu. Mr. Lungu himself, he got immunity because of the status that he holds, which is former president. But the current immediate family have to go and answer those cases in Zambia. One of those cases is in regards with the first lady, the first former lady, Mrs. Edgar Lungu. He's in possession, one of the cases as follows. There's a possession of property reasonable suspected to be proceeds of crime. The property includes a complex 15 luxury double-story, which worth 27 million kwacha, was forfeited by the state by the Economic Financial Crimes Court in 2024. The second one also against Mrs. Esther Nyawa Lungu. It's again a possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime, which also includes 15 luxury properties, which worth 15 million, also forfeited by the Economic Financial Court. The third one is in regards with Honorable Tarsila Lungu, who is a daughter of His Excellency Edgar Lungu. She is facing charges of possession of farm property estimated to be 600 hectares in size, situated at the Forest Reserve in Sinda District, Eastern Provinces, valued at 9 million kwacha. The farm was seized by the state following a judgment passed by the Economic Financial Crimes Court. Number 4, the case is the people versus Chieso Lungu, which also is a daughter. Possessing property reasonable suspected of being proceeds of crime, Ms. Lungu, who is also the daughter of late former Republican president, was charged with corruption charges involving her ownership of Lusaka 3-story luxury lodge, valued at approximately 22 million, also suspected to be the proceeds of crime. The other one is the people against Mr. Dalito Lungu, son of the late former President of the Republic. He is in position of suspected of being proceeds of money laundering. Mr. Lungu, who is the son of the late former president, was charged with money laundering and being in a possession of 48 motor vehicles, reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime valued at approximately 25 million kwacha. There's also a question in regards with the Mopani mine beneficiaries. The beneficiaries of the Mopani mines are here residing within our country. They own the Ndozo Lodge in Lusaka, and then it's being used as a subject to the scheme. We are not fighting the Lungus. We are here saying, go and clear your name and come back to SA. We are also saying His Excellency Mr. Lungu cannot be buried in a foreign country when he was a servant of the Zambians. The Zambians deserve to bury their own leader. As South Africans, we know very well we have an issue of land. Since colonization and also apartheid, we have land claims that are being claimed via ancestral lineage. And graves are part of the instrument that we use when we want to claim the land. We don't want in the future that we are going to have an issue of the Lungus generation to come the descendant of Mr. Lungu to come and claim the land in SA and pointing to their grandfather's grave. We have a deep-rooted issue with the Zambians from during apartheid struggle. The Zambians is the one of the country that have contributed to our struggle. They have harbored our exiles. We also know that the Zambians, there are graves of our exiles currently in Zambia. We are not fighting the Zambians. What we will not allow is the current African leaders who loot the coffers of their people to take the loot and come and enjoy it in peace in South Africa. We know very well that African leaders have been looting their country's resources and then go and enjoy the loot in Europe and the West. Now it's UAE. We have also found out with this case that there are more looters of the continent who have now found heaven in our country, South Africa. We saw in the last elections of Zambia, the Zambian youth went out in their numbers, not only to go and cast the vote to change the regime. They went there because they wanted change. They got their votes from the voting station to where the votes were being guided. We saw the videos in 2023 during the national elections of Zambia because they were tired. They were tired that the regime was collecting debts from the West, from the East, but there were no infrastructures in Zambia. I believe it will be unfair for us as South Africans to keep quiet and let the Lungus to bury their people in South Africa without letting the Zambians to mourn their leader, without letting them to go back home and face the Zambians and clear their name. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving you that 2 seconds to pause and ponder and process. As we always say on South African social media, South Africa is a movie. So we forgot to ask the caterers to provide you with popcorn when we were making arrangements for catering. So we apologize for that. Ne? You forgive us, Mos. Yeah, Mara, you know that South Africa is a movie. Just another apology before I introduce the guest. The media house, Lusaka Media Company, they were sending 3 delegates, but due to Lusaka Press, pardon me for that. So Lusaka Press was coming through and plane tickets and everything were booked, but due to unforeseen circumstances, unfortunately, they were asked on the last minute not to come to South Africa. So I think you can feel the gravity of this matter. Okay, we have a few distinguished guests amongst us. So if it's possible, can somebody assist me to just take this mic so that I can pass the mic through and then everyone can introduce themselves. And when you introduce yourselves, please state your name and surname, as well as the organization that you are representing, and then we will take it from there. May I please have assistance with this? Okay.
We get nice pictures as well. Yeah.
Okay.
They come to the podium, please.
Okay. Okay, the press is asking us to give everyone a chance to come to the podium. Please come, introduce yourself, your name and surname, and in which capacity are you here? We can start from that side to make it easy with the flow of traffic. The first person can come.
Just for introductions.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody here. All protocol observed. My name is Cosmos Tuka Kuzimpi Rudolph Mota. I'm Swati Stlogolo Sabapedi Baga Malepe. I thank you. Maybe when I come in,
Let me use a juristic language. Dumelang. Let's be missing. Lekai. We want to know where you are. Letting. Indigenous monarch king is what I am. My name Ke Halolabadaun Salele. I am the king in Badaung Salele Royal Kingdom, monarch Southern Africa. Ki tshwanetse be ke a leboa tse di letle. Ke a leboa bhaeso.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pio Wuhletulu. I am representing March and March, Gauteng. Thank you.
Morning, commanders. My name is Lucas Makubele, chairperson of SACRA, standing for South African Consent Residents Association.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Mpho Sana from Reaga Community Project in Tshwane. Thank you very much.
Dumelang. I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. Lebitso la ka ke Mary Tshweditse Tati. Ke Mokubung, ke Motaung wa Tlhalele. Ke tswala ha Mohapi. Ke a leboha.
Thabela, le kae? Lebitso la ka ke nna Ngwana Kgwele Mary Murudu. I'm representing African Traders Association, of which we're working with the workers. We're having a branch in Atteridgeville. That's where we started our project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dumelang, greetings, Abusheni, Limacheloni. My name is Rachel Makobele. I'm the Secretary General of Defense South Africa. Thank you.
Sanbonani Dumelang. My name is Mthunzi Lutuli. I'm from an organization called the Progressive Civics Congress, PCC. We are a civic movement that is focused on helping people problems on a daily basis on the ground. Thank you.
Hoto, Likai. My name is Queen Mulatelo. I represent Indigenous monarch under King Khalili.
Once again, Molweni, Dumelang Absheni. My name is Mteto Mugaitobi, and I was given this opportunity to lead the Progressive Forces of South Africa. That's why we are here today. Thank you.
And these are our distinguished guests, and they are going to get a chance to say something for a minute or two. And we are going to kickstart with His Royal Highness, the Highness, oh my soul, this morning, King Khalil. Maragere, it's not my mother tongue. So, letlang swarela. So, morena ke maswabi for role emisha hape. Ne ke kgopela.
Dumelang, greetings, Abusheni, Limacheloni. My name is Rachel Makobele. I'm the Secretary General of Defense South Africa. Thank you.
Sanbonani Dumelang. My name is Mthunzi Lutuli. I'm from an organization called the Progressive Civics Congress, PCC. We are a civic movement that is focused on helping people problems on a daily basis on the ground. Thank you.
Hoto, Likai. My name is Queen Mulatelo. I represent Indigenous monarch under King Khalili.
Once again, Molweni, Dumelang Absheni. My name is Mteto Mugaitobi, and I was given this opportunity to lead the Progressive Forces of South Africa. That's why we are here today. Thank you.
And these are our distinguished guests, and they are going to get a chance to say something for a minute or two. And we are going to kickstart with His Royal Highness, the Highness, oh my soul, this morning, King Khalil. Maragere, it's not my mother tongue. So, letlang swarela. So, morena ke maswabi for role emisha hape. Ne ke kgopela le tle le tlo re bolela le rena setjhaba. And His Royal Highness is just going to give us insight from an Indigenous perspective when you bury people.
Dumela Mahaiso. Ki ya leboha. I'm standing here today and to bring unto all the ears a different message. The message of declaration of the indigenous people. Indigenous people has the absolute law on the indigenous law, indigenous living, and all aspect of tradition, culture, and the rights. Those are the major arms of indigenous people, the brown people. I prefer not to be black because I'm not black. Kimosoto. That's my color. I would like just to introduce this to say the indigenous law, it has law on its own. Rinalema Khotla, since from the beginning. And the overtake of Roman Dutch law was not the right jurisdiction to come and be put on our lives and deprive every aspect of respect and humanity in our indigenous people. Today, as I'm saying, we are having our own courts. We are having our own judicial system. We are having our own lifestyle where the law is not teachable like the colonialism is doing. When you want to know law, you have to school. You have to go to school somewhere with another grades that they grade you that you are supposed to be learning or being given education on law or not. And then you can ask yourself if your mind is sober. Why should only few people know the law? What about the rest? What about the upcoming generations? What about the age? What about the adults? What about other aspects of life? They should not know the law. I spoke to the other chief magistrate one day, and I said that you are doing unlawful to judge people that you show that you have never taught them a law. But when you judge them with a law that they don't know. It is in our indigenous ethics that the law is taught even the woman when he's still pregnant. When he got a kid, he knows what he must do. When he grow up, to eat, to wear, to which food to eat, how to walk. It is the teachable situation that indigenous law has founded in that will never make a mess. And all things has started to be messed up when Alot Macaulay came in 1834 and 5, when coming to spy on us, how we live. And he said a very good report that I can't forget. He said, I went in Africa continent wide and through. One, he said, I never found a fifth. I never found a poor person. I've never found a needy. He mentioned these things and giving back to the Britain Parliament and telling them about us. But if you can check how many fifths that we have now, how many needy, not even needy people, but the poorest of the poor in our country, in our lives. That is different. That's why I'm saying, I'm proclaiming to all people, all arms of the political government and their relatives and their cabals to leave our own people to live free, as it is their liberty to do so. And I'm mentioning even all those are calling them authorities, the employed kings, the employed chiefs, the employed headmen, the employed whosoever that is calling themselves royalty, but they are employed by the cabal of this government that are ruled by Dutch Roman law, and leave our royalties to be free as they are. You are born as a king. You are born as a monarch. You are born as a prince. You are born as a queen, not to be made. All this made some people that are on the authorities. That's why we are in this mess up. Now is the time to turn and take our things as they are, from the bones, from the blood, not from the head and from the books, not from anything that can be mentioned as the accolade of education. All people has learned here. All of them are Platos, Paragodas, and the wasp. All of them, they got taught here. The very same thing today, we take it over. We know ourselves more than somebody can explain us. I thank you. For shortly, let me send my condolences to Lunga's family. We grieve with you as being a culture for us to respect when something like this happened and to mourn with that family. We mourn with you, and you must receive our sincere condolences to you for the loss. And then coming back to the very same thing that happened, I don't want to touch any filthy acts that the politician government has done. It's not my place. There are people that knows better about that. But I'm saying it will be a taboo if we can let the president, Zambian president, to be buried in here. Everybody according to the tradition and culture and the rituals says everybody must be buried where the elder bones and the graves are. No negotiations. I don't need no court to say anything. This is our people, and this is what we know. Let the Zambian president go and bury it where his ancestors are, close. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all, the ears that are listening. This is the time. I am Indigenous monarch. I'm the holder of an Ankh, the Supreme Natural Ankh degree to control, to command, and authority. As the natural law is our law of every body, of every flesh. I'm proclaiming this, and it's happening. It has started already. There will be nobody who will detect and dictate on our earth anymore. There will be no more shadows that will be hindering us. to ponder every way in our success. We had the diamonds, we have the gold, we have the platinums, we have the natural inhabitants that we have, with no sinking holes, with no polluted air, with a bright sky that was giving us even longer life. But because of these people that came, they destroyed everything. You become sick even to inhale. Therefore, this is our time. We are taking over to make things the way they supposed to be and that they should be. Lesedi le kganyetse batho bohle. Ke a leboha.
Lesedi le kganyetswe batho bohle. For those who are tuned in from Zambia, it means let light shine upon all. I am now going to call Cosmos Mota from COSAL to come to the podium, and he's going to elaborate more on COSAL and also give his insights.
Good morning, everybody, once more. As I've introduced myself, my first name is Tuka Mota. I'm of South African Concerned Citizens, which is a civic movement. We are in the confederation called COSAL. COSAL means the Confederation of South African Citizens. So what I would like to state here is we are apolitical, we are non-political. So we are confederated with a lot of entities, including ministries, cooperatives. We are also business-oriented. Mine is simple. As a South African, it's very simple here. After thorough consultation with other leaders of other entities about this matter, we would love to say our kindest condolences to the state leader who has passed on. May his soul rest in perfect peace that it deserves. So ours is simple, as I've said. Mine is simple here as a representative of COSAL. Here in South Africa, we've got laws. We've got a constitution. There is a law that is governing South Africa, which is the constitution. So we are asking that the government that is deployed to govern this South Africa, let it make it a point that these proceedings that they are intending to do, they are lawful. When they are not lawful, it's going to be a problem for South Africans. And we are saying, on behalf of all the South Africans, the ordinary South Africans, we are saying we are with you. Since COSAL, it's a structure that deals with addressing the social ills of South Africa. We've got borders, we've got laws, we've got everything that is supposed to be done according to the law. So we are saying let law be practiced in this country. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mota, Cosmos Mota from COSAL. I now call on Mthunzi Luthuli from PCC and UCM to give his few words.
Good day again. I'm here to talk about the march that we're going to have tomorrow, the Cyril Must Fall March. which is going to start in Marabastad and end up at the Union Buildings. But before I do that, I just want to concur with one thing that Ukhosi said earlier, because I myself am from royalty. I'm the grandson of Chief Albert Luthuli, and we can trace our history all the way back to Usenzangakona. And some of my ancestors fought alongside Ushaga. And I don't like to just call him Ushaga. I call him Emperor, King Shaka the Great, because that's what he is. So, amakhosi nabantu nje abanye ababalulekile abahambi bengcwatshwa noma yikuphi nje, bangcwatshwa eindaweni ezifanele i-position leyo ababenayo ku-society. Uthatha inkosi uyengcwaba noma yikuphi, kufanele ihambe iye kubo la isuka khona. Yeah, nabantu ababalulekile njengama-president nabo into efanayo, kufanele bahambe kwamanye amazwe. They have presidential squares where all the presidents are buried. So akwazi ukuthi kuzofika abantu ababuya ngaphandle bezongcwaba ama-president namakhosi abo la eSouth Africa. Ngakho ke bengithi nje angisho ukuthi nami ke ngikusho lokhu ngasesayidini lami nje ukuthi le nto eshiwo inkosi iyiqiniso ngempela ngempela. Right, now let me get back to what I was actually here to talk about, which is the Cyril Must Fall March that will be happening tomorrow. This initiative of this march is the initiative of Defend SA, but it is supported by UCM. UCM stands for the United Civics Movement, which is an umbrella federation of South African civic movements. And my organization, PCC, is part of UCM. So we're making this announcement on behalf of Defend SA and UCM. On Friday, the 18th of July 2025, in other words, tomorrow, the symbolic Nelson Mandela Day, thousands of determined South Africans from across all provinces will gather in Pretoria for the Cyril Must Fall March to the Union Buildings. Organized by Defend SA and supported by UCM, a federation of civic movements. This national protest is a bold declaration by the people against the ongoing decay of leadership, governance, and accountability under President Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa's rise to the Union Buildings has been characterized by corruption from the very beginning, starting with his irregular election as ANC president at the Nasrec conference in 2017, a process bankrolled by the controversial CR17 campaign funds, the details of which remain sealed and hidden from public scrutiny. Since then, the president has failed to account for the Phala scandal. He has also failed to explain the disappearance of over 198 billion rands in COVID-19 relief funds, while burdening the nation with nearly 3 trillion in international debt. Yet there is nothing tangible to show for it. Instead, South Africa is in crisis. The economy is on crutches. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Illegal immigration is out of control, and service delivery has collapsed. The recent explosive revelations by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi have only confirmed what South Africans already know, that this administration is corrupt to the core, and that our institutions have been captured by political and private business interests at the expense of public safety, justice, and national pride. Our demands are very clear. We demand the immediate resignation of Cyril Ramaphosa as president and head of state. We demand an end to state capture 2.0 under a new guise of renewal. We demand the dismissal and prosecution of corrupt police officers and politicians. That's what we demand, not useless commissions that waste our time and public funds. And let us just be clear, maybe I'll digress a little bit. Let us just be clear on the issue of commissions. Cyril Ramaphosa did not have to appoint a commission of inquiry. It's a game that is playing. When Cyril Ramaphosa came into office, he demanded that the State Security Agency report directly into his office in the presidency. And so Cyril Ramaphosa gets state security reports and briefings on a regular basis. So what Mkhwanazi revealed, Cyril Ramaphosa already knew. That is the fact. And so the question is, if he knew all of these things, why is it that he didn't act? Why did he let criminal syndicates run amok within our law enforcement agencies? Why did he allow a situation where our politicians work with criminal syndicates and the SAPS to bring drugs into this country, to allow the looting of our country and the destruction of our society? He didn't have to. He knows exactly what has happened. It's not as if this commission is going to reveal something new that he doesn't know. So there was no need for this. He should have acted. As a leader, if he was a true leader, he should have acted, and he did not. Because he himself is captured by foreign interests, foreign business people. He's not acting in the interests of South Africans. He has absolutely no interest in advancing our country and making sure that South Africans are successful people. We also demand strong action to halt illegal immigration and restore border control. And we demand the reinstatement of the informal economy to the hands of locals. This is not just a protest. Tomorrow's march is not just a protest. It is a clarion call for national renewal. South Africans from all walks of life are rising to reclaim their country from those who have betrayed the Constitution and public trust. We urge all patriotic South Africans to stand together and say, Cyril must fall, the people must rise. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luthuli, Tunzi Luthuli. I'm going to call on Rachel Makubera from Defend SA to give us a word or two And our speakers who are coming, I've scanned through, I'm not seeing any gray hairs or beards. So I assume you're as young as me. You know, with elderly people, we don't like to rush them and tell them time. His Royal Highness spoke, so I didn't want to rush him. So for Lona, when you come here and you see me standing there at the door, it's an indication that time. If I stand there at the door, I don't want to expose you in front of the cameras. So if you see me standing there, please don't get offended. And then if you see me coming and you are still talking and I'm standing here, it means that unfortunately I'm going to need to come and stop you. So, let me consider my Zambian viewers. I'm asking with humility, let us please consider time.
Thank you, Program Director. We'll try to be as fast as we can. Greetings, everyone, South Africans, media houses, Your Highness, we greet you. My name is Rachel, Secretary of Defense South Africa, in short, DSA. DSA, we stand for Accountability, Transparency, and Ethical Leadership. Our duty is to protect the country from internal and external threats. Coming back to the issue of Mr. Edgar Lungu, we are saying this comes as a threat to South Africa as the nation. The question is, when the person of the status like Mr. Lungu is being buried, whose flag is going to be lowered? Is it our South African flag or is it a Zambian flag? Because this person is not anybody person. It's not anybody that just like me, you can just bury. He deserves a dignity as the former president of Zambia. Okay, the issue of the family, Mr. Lungu's family, as DSA, we stand for transparency and accountability. We are saying the family should go back home and account for all those crimes that we just had here. They've been enlisted. South Africa is not the country where we harbor criminals. South African government should please try to control the level of criminals that are entering our South African country. Just like I said, I won't have to prolong this. In conclusion, we had our chief when he said a person must be buried where his bones. Xitsonga hi ri laha kava wan'we u nga sala ko xikava ni xa n'wena xi nga wela kona nga Xivenda hune mukutlo wawe wa sala hone. So Mr. Lunga deserves a dignity. People of Zambia deserve dignity. They deserve to mourn their president. We have the issue of influx of illegal immigrants in South Africa. That's not it's not something that we can say it's a lie. We are dealing with this issue in South Africa. So the person of the status like Mr. Lunga being buried in South Africa, it's gonna give many Zambian citizens to come here and say they're coming to see their president's grave. And at the end of the day, they end up staying in South Africa. And when we raise that issue, we will be labeled as xenophobic. And we are not being xenophobic, but we're trying to protect what belongs to us. We love our African brothers and sisters, but what they are doing in our country, seriously, is not humanity enough. So I thank you. Mr. Lunga must be buried home. Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. Rachel Makubela from Defense South Africa. Now I'm calling on Ms. Meritati from Tembelihle Residents Association.
Thank you once again. Oops. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be standing here on behalf of Tembelihle Residents Association. I would like to say good morning once again. I acknowledge the King in our presence, patriots, everyone who is here, members of the civic organization and the media house that are here, also those that are in Zambia. I concur with everyone statement. What I want to say is my condolences to the president and his family. We have a huge challenge as South Africa. We know that everybody, most of the people that come here regard South Africa as America of Africa. We acknowledge that. And with Ubuntu that we have as South Africans, we are always welcoming to everyone. But as Tembelihle Residents Association, we are saying no to illegal immigrants. Anybody who is here and accounted for is welcome to live in South Africa. But those who come here without papers, those who come here to commit crime, those who come here to say that they can get away with crime, and those that are assisting them in the officials of government to come here and commit crime, it's unacceptable. Police who are in office, who took oath to protect the public, and they are collaborating with criminals, that cannot be acceptable. What is happening that we are seeing recently, the mafias that are running our countries, cannot be acceptable. We are having mafias in every sphere of government. We are having people trying, they are saying they are representing citizens of South Africa. They are representing the people who live around the community. They go and they want 30% of the money of the value of the construction, if it's a construction site. And that money does not end in the community's coffers. They do not employ communities. Those mafias, they come and they take the money and they go with the 30%. They leave the community poor as they came in. So I want to say, I've experienced that a lot. I was a CLO in a project that is in Pretoria CBD. I was threatened every day by guns. People coming to threaten me, wanting the 30%. And I stood my ground and I said that 30% will go to the community that lives in the inner city. There is a lot of corruption in the inner city. I'm standing here to say there are breaking down of social housing as we are speaking. We have the state that is trying to accommodate South Africans who are homeless, but those property end up being hijacked by the illegal immigrant, by the very people who are the mafia, the mafias in all spheres of government. And we cannot say that is correct. There's abuse of tenants everywhere in the inner city and on these programs that are built by government. So if the SRA that is standing to advocate for the people who do not have anywhere else to go, allow these criminals to carry on, we will not see justice, because also the justice system is failing us. So tomorrow we are supporting Defend SA to say this need to come to an end. We need to take ownership as South Africans and from the ground root level, because the ones who are at the top has failed us. Thank you so much for your time and opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Mary Tati from Tembelihle Residents Association. Now we are calling on Mpho from Riaya to come, Riaga, or Remaswabi, Mpho Riaga, to come give us an insight.
Greetings once again. As Riaga, we are an institution that focuses on economic development. We are saying, and tomorrow we are saying that we want to deal with monopoly capitalists. We are saying monopoly capitalists have taken over our country, they have taken over our state, hence why our country is not developing. We are also saying that we are not politically affiliated. The reason why we do not affiliate with political agendas is because most of political parties are actually backed up by the very same the very same monopoly capitalists. So we are saying that we do not want a state that is run or governed by monopolists. We want to see South Africa growing in equilibrium, where each and every person is given a fair chance of operating as long as they're operating within the laws that have been placed. Certain laws, yes, they are violated and they are monitored by the very same monopoly capitalist. And we are saying that anything that does not benefit South Africa should not be taken into an upper hand. Hence why certain policies, we argue on them on the basis of saying who benefits from that certain bylaw or from that certain policy. Now, in regards to the president, Zambia, we are saying what economical frustration is this going to create towards the country? What implication are we going to receive? Now, we are saying the recent dispute over the burial of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu in South Africa has sparked significant controversy and raised several concerns. As an economic institution, we would like to highlight the potential implication and these disputes of the economy and migration. The trade disruption. What disruption is this going to create within South Africa and Zambia? Investment uncertainties. If by law, each and every company that comes to South Africa must come as an investor. Those that are coming as investors, not as monopoly capitalists, but as investors, what effects is it going to create? My colleagues here from UCM, there's also highlighted the influx also of Zambians coming over to the country. What effects is that going to create? So we are saying to Zimbabwean and to the family of the late President Edgar to say, please look at it in a broader view to say what implication is this going to create towards the economy of South Africa. We want to ensure that our economy rises. Anything that is going to disrupt our economy, we will stand by all force to say we are not part of it. We thank you very much. Let us rebuild our country together. Monopoly capitalist, down with monopoly capitalist. President Cyril, every monopoly capitalist that you have encouraged, we want to say we do not stand with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mporiaga. Did I pronounce it correctly this time? Good. Okay, now we looking at time. We will need to evacuate this venue soon, and we also need a Q&A. So we are going to close this program with Mr. Mteto Nugaitobi, the President of Progressive Forces of South Africa. And then from my side, as your program director, I just want to say thank you for your patience and thank you for your cooperation.
Once again, good afternoon. members of the media, colleagues, patriots. Yeah, so just sorting this out. Yeah. Before we close today's briefing, allow me to bring the conversation back to the heart of the issue, the truth, transparency, and accountability. It has now come to light to us that the former president, Edgar Lungu, was allegedly admitted into a Pretoria hospital under a false name. That forces us to ask critical questions on our own government. Who did South African authorities officially declare dead? This is not a trivial question. When a former head of state dies on South African soil, there are protocols and diplomatic guidelines, national population register processes. But in this case, it seems none of these steps were properly followed. Instead, we are left with secrecy, irregularities, and now the risk of diplomatic crisis unfolding on our watch. Why is our government so silent on this? Let us also not forget why this matter is so sensitive for the people of Zambia. The former First family and their associates are currently facing serious corruption charges back home. We have noted also, just a bit, there was a journalist and also he was part of the Zambian ambassador. His name is Emmanuel Mwamba. Since 2015-2019, just to clarify, we are a civic movement. We're not a political party. And we are not here to hang out dirty linen. If he wants to do that, we can do that. We can call out also even his infidelities of people's wives, but we're not all over that. Right. These are not allegations of petty theft. This is about state capture, asset looting, the plundering of Zambian national wealth, and accountability cannot be denied. Let us also not forget that this network is believed to be connected to conceal luxury properties abroad, including luxury beach resorts in undisclosed countries. And Ndozo Lounge in Lusaka now also a subject of asset seizure investigations. And yes, there are whispers that initial Mapupane mine also sells, to what my colleague was talking about. Sales beneficiaries are here in South Africa, living comfortably, while ordinary citizens in Zambia are struggling to make ends meet. So we close with these final questions. Why was South Africa became the preferred destination for political elites fleeing justice from their home countries? Why was Edgar Lungu not flagged in the National Population Registry when his days was expired in April? Who is our government protecting, and what cost to our sovereignty? I'll just give you a highlight of our president, and also I'll put it in inverted commas, allegedly. He arrived in SA January 19, 2025 with a diplomatic passport. And the passport, it's D001381, which was granted 90 days. This is quite important to note that on his arrival date, that he was picked up from the departure terminal. Remember that word. By a luxury Audi Q7, top of the range, blue in color, and its registration number, and understood to belong to a Zambian businessman who's got international ties, even Jens.